I thought Chelsea demonstrated great bounce back ability tonight. Bounce back ability. I'm using an old-fashioned X Factor phrase. I used to get used a lot on the X Factor when I was a wee nipper. And that's what I felt with Chelsea today. Because in that first half, Newcastle United were faster, stronger, quicker. And I don't mean just quicker in terms of the pace of the game. I'm talking about their as in like sprinting. Their decision-making was better. They were just on every single level, Newcastle blew them away. Newcastle blew Chelsea away in that first half. And really and truly, it should have been 3-0, maybe even 4-0 at half-time. In fact, you look at the first half, 6 big chances created to none for Chelsea. And I felt that Newcastle pressed brilliantly. The opening goal was all about the press. Fofana pickpocketed, mugged off with the ball, and really well worked goal. Sanchez pulls off a brilliant save, but there was Valdemada to make up for the own goal against Sunderland with a brilliant finish. 10 minutes later, about 15 minutes later, a brilliant cross. Chelsea are all at sea, half their defensive line pushing up, the other half sitting back, and Valdemada there again to tap the ball in. And it looked like the game was going to run away with Chelsea. The one concern I had for Newcastle is they used a hell of a lot of energy up. They used up a hell of a lot of energy. They put so much aggression, so much effort into that first half. I think the second half was a combination of the legs going slightly, and Enzo Maresca put a rocket up Chelsea's backside, because that second half, Chelsea came out and they were the better team. In that second period, there's no doubt they had more of the ball. It was 9 shots to 4 in that second half. None on target for Newcastle. And as soon as they got that goal back, and it's a very, very good goal early in the second half, a brilliant free kick from Reece James, you saw the nervousness of Newcastle kick in. A team who I think haven't had lots and lots of bad performances this year, but they're a team whose confidence is shot to pieces. They're a team who are very, very nervous on a regular basis. They really, really are. And I think that you could see that throughout the course of the game today when that goal went in. The equaliser, brilliant, good long ball from Rob Sanchez. A brilliant first touch from João Pedro. He did very well with the touch and the finish, but the defending was just awful. Caught all at sea, falls over. And when it went to 2-2, if I'm honest with you, the only team I really thought would go on to win it from there was Chelsea. They did have a couple of chances, Newcastle. Harvey Barnes missing a big one at the back post, and Elanga on a counter-attack. I can't believe he's not squaring the ball to Harvey Barnes. Square the ball, win the game, put it to bed. In terms of Chelsea, I thought they were going to go on to win it. And maybe if Garnacho wasn't on the pitch, they would. I thought he was very greedy today, shooting when he should be crossing the ball. But I think in the grand scheme of things, Chelsea should be happy with the comeback. One player that stood out for me, though, in that second half for Chelsea, I've got to give him so much credit again, was Reece James. He's just an absolute star. Best player on the pitch. Best player at Chelsea as well. I mean, just overall. Some will say Palmer because he's more attack-minded, but there's something about Reece James. He's got the leadership skills and everything else. There was a tackle he put in to stop Harvey Barnes from scoring, which was match-saving. And those kind of moments shouldn't be forgotten. They often don't get remembered as much as goals and assists and that kind of element. But that was a game-saving moment in the match. So Reece James, absolutely fantastic there, and deserves all the praise that he gets. But I thought overall a draw was a fair result. If you look at both halves of the game, I think Newcastle fans will be disappointed with the second half. But the first half, they were fantastic. It was just maintaining that. Chelsea, it's the other way around. Their fans will be fuming with that first half, the same as Enzo Maresca was. But I think they'll be very, very happy with the second. Now, the big question being is, should Newcastle have had a penalty in this game? There was a handball shout in the first half. For me, I don't think that's a handball. And I know Newcastle fans will disagree. His hands are down by his side in a natural position. There's a back heel. He makes no movement towards the ball. In fact, it looked to me like... Who was it that committed? Was it Fofana? I think it was Fofana. It looked to me like he was trying to pull his hand away. So for me, I wouldn't have said that was a handball. The one that I think is far more contentious is the Chalobah on Anthony Gordon challenge on the 55th minute of the game. Was that 53rd? I can't read it. 53rd minute. 54th minute of the game. And for me, this one was a penalty. And VAR have come out and said that it was a side-by-side challenge. And it just wasn't. One, I think it was excessive in terms of the force, because Chelsea fans won't like hearing this, and I get it, it's your team. I'm not trying to take nothing away from you, I'm just speaking honestly. If that tackle was done to anyone in your team, you all shout foul. Everybody does. But when you look at the still shot, you can see it. The legs make contact before the body does. If you go back and watch the video footage. So the legs make contact first of all, and doesn't touch the ball. And then it's the shoulder into the back. That isn't shoulder to shoulder. You can see Chalobah's shoulder is behind Anthony Gordon's. I was very, very surprised that the VAR didn't give this. VAR didn't overturn it. And I want to be fair and I want to be consistent. I don't think the first one was the handball shout. I just thought that was arm in a very natural position. It wasn't ball to hand. But for me, that there, legs make contact first, so it isn't side by side, and he barges him in the back, or the back of the shoulder. And I just don't see how that isn't a foul. If it was the other way around and Anthony Gordon did that to the defender, straight away the referee's going to blow his whistle and give a foul. Absolutely shocking decision, in my humble opinion. And at the end, I know a lot of people wanted Reece James to be sent off. Not a foul. Not a foul at the end. Fleeting pull. And he did pull him, but it was for a split second, not a full second. And this is where I want VAR to be consistent, and I want the PGMOL to be consistent, and they were. They have said for a long, long time that fleeting pulls are not fouls. So therefore, if it's just literally a split second, like that, no foul. So I wouldn't have given that red card at the end. It wouldn't have changed the game at all. It might have helped a few teams against Chelsea coming up, but I wouldn't have personally given that as a foul. But the penalty shout on Gordon, for me, I don't see how you can put your leg across somebody, barge them in the back with a lot of force, and it not be a foul. I just don't understand that whatsoever. Just don't understand it whatsoever. But look, I'd love to get your views. I'd love to get your opinions on that. I know a lot of you will see it differently. In fact, let's have a look at the comments that are coming through now. I'm sure some are going to agree, some are going to disagree. That's pathetic. That's pathetic, bro. That's just strength. It's not. It's in his back. It's in his back. And he puts his leg across him. If it's shoulder to shoulder, no issue with the force. But it isn't. Let's be honest about it. Let's be on it. And it doesn't matter that I'm looking at a freeze frame. He pushes him in the back and puts his leg across him. Come on now. Come on. Let's be very, very honest about this. If it was the other way around, I'd be saying it was a penalty as well. Leg goes across him. The thighs hit first. And then his shoulder goes into the back of Gordon. Explain to me how that's not... I don't want to hear strength. And you can't tell me side by side. Because the evidence shows it isn't that. Let's be fair. Let's be fair. Let's be fair. And it isn't about against it. Saying stop crying is not an argument. Come with an argument. Stop crying. We know you don't like Chelsea. But this is the thing. I say a lot of nice things about Chelsea all the time. A lot of praise for a lot of your players. Only a few weeks ago, I was talking about how Reece James is one of the most unique players in Premier League history. One of a handful of players who's world class in two completely different positions. That's not the kind of thing you say about a club you hate. I'm just being very fair here. And I'm telling you this now. Every Chelsea fan saying it isn't a penalty, if this foul is committed on your player in the next game, you're all going to shout penalty. I would bet any of you want to come and show your face on camera, we'll get you on and I'll do a bet with you. I'll bet you 50% of all my YouTube channels, if that foul happens to one of your players in future, you ask for a pen. Guarantee it. If you want to come on, show your face and name, we have the bet. If you don't make it, you have to donate £1,000 to charity. You can inherit half of all my YouTube channels but you've got to put a £1,000 bet up for charity. Charity, not for me. I guarantee none of you will come on and do that. Not one of you will come on and do it. Not one of you. Because you all know if that foul was committed on you, you're all asking for a penalty. Do you know why you're asking for a penalty? Because you know it's a foul. You absolutely do. But yeah, look, it's one of those things. Overall, though, for me, I think a draw was a fair result in this game. It's the proverbial game of two halves. I think Chelsea deserve a lot of credit for fighting back. That's the one thing I will say and I want to end on. I think Chelsea deserve a lot of credit because they haven't had a great run of form recently. If you look at the, I think as of late now for Chelsea, there's only one win in the last 5 games for Chelsea. So they've not been on a great run of form. 3 draws, a loss, and 1 win in that period. But to be 2-0 down, next game's against Aston Villa, very, very tough team. Getting something out of that game, I think, is massive for Chelsea. They had to. They really, really important for them to get a point out of this game. So you've got to give a lot of credit to Chelsea for that fight back. I think Enzo Maresca at half-time, the substitutions he made early in the second half, I think the team talk he gave, the way he fired the team up, some subtle changes to how they approached the game. Fantastic from him. You can see why Man City are circling, they want him. So Chelsea deserve a lot of credit for that comeback, there's no doubt. Massively important for them. It really, really was. But as ever, I want your views. I want your take. Hair transplant refund. Oh, that's a nice insult, bruv. Have you seen your face? Me old mucker. Is that all you've got? Hair jokes. What are you going to say next? Your mum? Come on now. They go, listen, a lot of people are still saying that's nowhere near a penalty. Like I've said, come on camera, show your face. I'll bet you half my YouTube channels. Half of them. You own half of them. Right? If you come on, name and face, put your money where your mouth is, we'll have a little bet that if that foul is ever committed on a Chelsea player, you'll ask for a penalty. Are any of you willing to put your money where your mouth is? How many of you are willing to do it? Come on and let me know. Come on. Like, share and subscribe, please, people. Get that done.